start
A Maddie O'Mac Machismo production. What's Gucci, my leprechauns? The Fenians launched from Uncle Sam's with whiskey in their souls to seize Canuckland for the cause and meet their daring goals. With your legs mud they sang so gay, a wild Irish romp all the way. Oh, lads, ho, up we go, rant and ramble, bo-dee-ho. Green we rise, hey, swing and sway, redcoats curse our grand hooray. Over the border they flew like hares, at the dead of night they crept, but half got banjaxed on the poteen and the rest in ditches slept. The redcoats sniggered, the geese gave chase, the cannons stayed in kip. They nabbed a hen and a crusty loaf, sure, 'twas a glorious trip. Oh, Fenians bold, they tripped and fell, with shamrock swagger they raced pure hell. Lost in the mud they sang so gay, a wild Irish romp all the way. Oh, lads, ho, up we go, rant and ramble, bo-dee-ho. Green we rise, hey, swing and sway, redcoats curse our grand hooray.
Clover. Welcome. did you like the Matty old Machismo?
The Irish what's Gucci my ninjas is might be my favorite.
What's Gucci my leprechauns, baby? Speaking of leprechauns, it's us. I'm me, they're them, and we're us. We are the YouTube equivalent of Braille, because when we speak, people feel us. Yep. Punk, I thought you would have been ready for that one this time, but okay.
You know what? I didn't get the memo. You know, I'll work on it.
All right. Hey, look, the Mad EPAP episode 7, that worked out perfectly. I did that on purpose. So, since St. Paddy's Day is coming up this month on the 17th, if you didn't know, we're going to be doing 2 Irish episodes, starting with tonight's episode. Anybody ever heard of the Fenian Brotherhood?
Can't say that I have.
I'm aware of it now.
Yes, you are. They're good lads, all of them. But anyway, anybody got anything before we get started? Last week's show was a disaster. Saved it with tomorrow's teachings.
Yeah, I was going to ask. So, what is this with tickling?
Is the competitive tickling thing? Oh, it turned. Whoa. I don't care for that at all, Slender. Well, yeah, it turned out it was just a dude with a tickling fetish.
I like how you. It turns out
a tickling fetish of watching straight young men tickle each other.
Specifically, straight Asian hairless young men under 24, 25, maybe.
Now we're adding a lot of
Twinks.
caveats into this.
Yes.
It's like, this is becoming a very specific thing.
Yeah. Did you say twink or kink? What?
Yes,
Twinks did come up. Yep.
Twinks are a kink.
I had to describe the definition of what a twink is.
There is an audience for cringe, and I think we nailed it.
Biggest episode
did you
we've
make
had.
sure? Did you make sure to put the hashtag twink in the
No,
description?
I didn't put hashtag. But
Really target that audience.
And all the thoughts that Elegabulus had about this could be a normal stream tonight have already gone out the window.
Whoops.
I'll say this though, it tripled our normal views. So every week is about to be competitive tickling week. Oh man, Matt, how did you end up with a tickling channel? Well, I did one.
This week, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about otters and bears.
Oh my!
What's an
And
otter?
to think
know what
I
a
could be
bear is.
watching Trump berate half of the country right now.
I'm proud of
An
you.
otter
for
is a
being
hairy
here.
twink.
You know, I thought I
Really?
would. I was gonna say I
Pretty
thought I
much.
was gonna be replacing Brahma this week because you'd be off being political.
I thought he
No.
was too.
When I commit to my bros, I show up for my bros.
Plus,
I
he
feel
didn't
like
put in
that
the
was a
correct paperwork.
backhand slide at me right there, but that's fine.
You've been
No,
gone
that was
for a month.
nothing to say about you. We really probably should have done a stream tonight, but no, I gave Tuesdays to Mad's Tuesday night.
Funny enough when you say that, Brahma, because Matt's already backstage was like, "Yeah, let's go on a different day."
Oh yeah.
Looks like people are already reading the Wikipedia, so let's get started.
By people, you mean the one person acting.
Elegabulous.
Yeah.
They're people.
Gojira's here too. Hey,
I
Goj.
don't like your eyes on that one, Slender, because they're poking out. What is going on underneath there?
You don't need to know what's going on underneath there.
I don't care for any of it.
Well,
He's
you're
infected.
gonna have to get used to it because that
His
is
eyes
my
seem
Irish
slightly
look.
aroused.
That's your Irish look.
That's my Irish look. My Irish look.
All right, I think that's a good place to stop. And
Yep, no more of that.
Good night, everybody.
all right, Chad, get us started. Let's see what's happening.
All right. So our tale begins in 1797 with the Fenians
Those are the salad years.
and Brotherhood movement, an Irish resistance group aiming for an independent democratic Ireland free of British rule using any means necessary.
How
As they
close
should.
is this to the potato famine?
It's funny you bring that up. We're like 2 paragraphs away from that.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for skipping ahead of Slender.
That's how far. Yeah, that's how close we are. We're 2 paragraphs close. That's how we measure time now. How close? 2 paragraphs.
Well, that could be 2 or 3 hours for us, or it could be 5 minutes.
Let me clarify. It's 3 sentences away. So, all right. The first Irish uprising occurred in 1797, followed by a second in 1848, both unsuccessful.
Oh wow, that's shocking. The first one though, is that when they wrote the Foggy Dew? You know the Dubliners, they sing it.
Huh?
Foggy Dew. So you know McGregor, the UFC fighter, his
Yeah.
song,
Conor McGregor?
Connor.
Connor?
His song, the first.
He was a Jedi.
He was a Jedi.
Ewan McGregor, he was a Jedi.
Connor.
No, Connor McGregor, the
Oh,
UFC
that's a different
fighter.
McGregor.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
different
McGregors.
Well, his entrance song, the first half was the Foggy Dew, and then it goes into Notorious B.I.G. Because the more you know.
Okay.
That seems like a wasted chance to use Dropkick Murphys.
Yeah, which would have rated a proper 12 if they had used it. Ha.
Oh man, dude, shipping to up to Boston. What a great song.
It is, and it's only like 45 seconds long.
You know, you say that, except if you watch sports and you have brothers who are really big Boston fans, you hear that song so goddamn much. It's like that and Sweet Caroline. You could
There's-
just kiss my butt and leave those songs.
Gotta love some Neil Diamond.
I'll be honest. I've never. If this is what I want in every movie. I want it to be placed in Boston. I want Ben Affleck to direct and star in it, and I want Dropkick Murphys doing the soundtrack.
And Marky Mark's got to make an appearance.
What? No.
He wasn't. He
What
wasn't
part
in
of the Wahlbergs?
He was in The Departed, though. So
Yeah, he was in The Potted.
Yeah.
yeah. I want his character from The Departed to just show up in other things randomly.
That's what I
Doesn't
mean.
count if you tell us. I appreciate it though. All right, where are we at? So
All right, we've had 2 failed rebellions, 1797 and 1848. As we discovered, they were both unsuccessful, which we figured. And,
one of these days they're gonna get it.
In spite of this, the Irish continued their resistance. However,
To this day.
in the mid 1800s, Irish immigrants poured into America. They were spurred on to leave by the potato famine, which occurred between 1846
There it
and
is.
1852. The potato famine killed over 1 million and drove another million to flee Ireland, with the U.S. receiving the largest number.
Today's topic is kind of booze, just because they're Irish. It kind of goes.
They're Irish.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you can use potatoes to make booze, right?
Not when there's a potato famine.
Well,
Yeah.
interesting thing about the famine, because the Irish viewed that as an act of genocide by the English, because they had been forced to export grain and livestock to England under military guard despite the insufficient food supplies in Ireland.
How does that tie into the Ottoman Empire, though?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Brahma. So I can actually do this if you'd like. You see, the Ottoman Empire, which was the heir of the Eastern Roman Empire, this is relevant because the one thing the Roman Empire never did was actually able to conquer Ireland. They kind of got towards the main southern part of England. I'm waiting for Matt to just interrupt because he's.
I didn't write any of this.
No, I was going to go completely.
So the Romans, they just were like, they got to be kicking them. Oh, the potatoes! We should have took the potatoes from them. That's how you beat the Irish.
I think it's
That's how you beat the Irish.
Think of it this way: the Irish weren't even worth conquering. Like they gave up. They were like, "Oh."
Is this like what that historically accurate movie about King Arthur with Clive Owen was about?
Exactly. It was all about potatoes.
You know what was most historically accurate is how flat-chested Keira Knightley was in that movie.
True. She was a walking stick.
It's my understanding that the people who built Stonehenge, all their women were completely flat-chested like that. So accurate.
No, Brahma finds that offensive. Like, he's a bourbon guy. How dare you say whiskey?
I've got a couple whiskeys. I just don't do Scotch or Irish whiskey.
So you don't do whiskey?
Barley.
I do American whiskey.
I mean, I would say barley over corn, but that's neither here nor there.
You're gross.
You're gross.
I hadn't even talked about Pete. He's my friend.
Oh, Pete can go F himself.
I agree with Brahma on that. Eesh.
Awesome.
So pretty much what you're saying, Punk Waddles, you like to drink dead men.
What?
Okay.
What do you think
that
Pete
came out of
is?
no.
A moss.
As
moss,
long
it's
as
They found in bogs where they had, especially the Irish and other various Celts had a habit of throwing people into when they were dead.
Come on, boyos. Let's go get some of our dead and distill them into some whiskey.
Look,
when
fermented.
we die, our bodies become the grass, and the gazelle eat the grass.
Well,
it's all part of the great circle of life.
Right.
Circle of life.
There's a fermentation process between where it's acceptable and the non-fermentation process, which is cannibalism.
Okay, to an Irishman, at what point is it acceptable for your former dead friend to become a booze you can consume?
As soon as the moss starts growing on him.
Four score and 3 paragraphs ago.
It depends on how thirsty you are.
Poor Paddy O'Houlihan, he's gone, but we can drink to his memory.
All we got to do is wait. We just got
I'm
to
not
wait.
dead. I just passed out. Well, the moss formed on you, so we went ahead with it.
Well,
I need the moss, I need the moss.
You're lucky it's only been 1 paragraph, 2 paragraphs, so we can drink you legally.
Didn't I tell you it was my island?
It's my island.
We haven't even gotten to. Keep going. Potato
All right,
Phantom.
so by 1860, over 1.6 million Irish-born Americans. Well, this is kind of unnecessary. There were 1.6 million Irish-born Americans, primarily living in New York City, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and New England, including many rebels from the failed 1848 uprising.
Now, when did they all move to Boston?
I don't know, when the Dropkick Murphys first started doing their special call.
Oh, we've been following the Dropkick Murphys on tour. I guess this is what we.
They just refuse to leave the state.
Now they're down in Revere.
Oh, you butchered Revere. That's
I know, because I was trying to do an Irish accent, but I was also trying to do the Boston pronunciation.
The Boston Irish
pronunciation of Revere.
Just go Southie. That's where the Irish live. They don't live in. They live in Southie.
What I hear is they don't live in Ireland either.
No, not anymore. They all moved. They all immigrated. Starting in 1858, the Irish Republican Brotherhood, also known as the IRB, formed in Dublin under James Stephens, comprised of famine survivors determined to resist British rule. In October 1858, a ceremony at Tammany Hall in New York City marked the birth of the U.S.-based Fenian Brotherhood, led
the
by
Fenians.
John O'Mahony. Could you
Was
get a
it-
more Irish name than that?
Yes, John O'Mahony.
John
Never-
O'Mahony,
You
a
said,
supportive auxiliary to Stevens' IRB.
What was that, Punk?
so there's Fenians where they're Furbians.
Did you say Furbians?
Yes,
Like
He did.
Furbies.
like Phineas and Ferb. You know.
Oh, what did you do on your summer vacation?
Found potatoes.
Brought to you by it was a O'Mahony Evil Incorporated. This is what we've got going on over here.
IRB.
He sounds
All
like a hero to me.
So
far.
O'Mahony organized American Irish to send money, arms, and provisions to Ireland for the next revolt.
Right.
Naming the group the Fenians after the pre-Christian Gaelic warriors, the Finna.
The Finna.
Finna. From
basically-
2,000 years ago when Ireland was independent.
Yeah, right. It's like season 3 of Sons of Anarchy. When
Yeah.
I don't know.
When
if
they
it's season
kidnap
3.
his kid.
Yep. And they got to go to Ireland, and they were like selling guns to them.
I feel like
Yep.
it's more like season 1 of Roar, which only lasted one season with
I
Heath
don't
Ledger,
know.
where it was set in Ireland. Yeah.
They made a show out of a Katy Perry song.
Yeah, they did. In
Is that the one about the
1990s.
plastic bag that just flies in the wind or some shit?
I don't know. We wish we could ask Heath Ledger, but he's not around. And
Wow.
Oh,
I mean, I know a little bit about Three Sheets to the Wind, but that's flogging Molly.
Oh yeah, Flogging Molly.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
What's next week's episode between two Fenians?
Oh man, that would have been a better name for this
Hey,
episode. I'm
that'd be-
shoplifting it.
That could be like the segment, like funny or peated.
I got it.
Thanks.
All right. In fact, many American Irish saw themselves as more committed to the Irish liberation than those still living in Ireland.
True.
As
The ones
as-
in Ireland were just drunk.
As the Fenian leader, O'Mahony wielded significant power and was only accountable to Stevens. Branches were formed called circles in major U.S. cities, overseen by elected local centers, though O'Mahony appointed state centers.
Right. So it's like the Freemason. They have lodges.
It's like they're turning into a clan.
Mm.
No. What? No.
Are they
Not-
are they the Clan MacLeod? What?
Wait,
I'm-
that was
Little
Scottish.
Chad knew where I was going with it. I think
Oh,
Mad was thinking a different clan.
Yeah, I was.
I was thinking of an
Yeah.
American clan.
Yeah,
I haven't gone that far south.
I tried. That's why I made the reference very clear, so Matt didn't keep going. Robert Byrd will not be in this clan.
Look, there's a difference between pale skin, light skin, and light colored sheets. Okay.
Well, they say that the Irish were the black people of Europe.
The
At this
Black
time.
Irish.
Nope. Didn't we have this whole conversation?
Yeah.
The Black
yeah,
Irish were a
'cause
thing. It's not.
Yes,
like,
but that's
true.
referring to dark hair and dark eyes. But
I didn't say it wasn't. I
no,
was
as a
just saying.
whole, they were referred to as the black people of Europe.
Yeah, like that redheaded Irish pop singer guy that's been famous. For a
Oh,
while.
The redheaded Irish pop
There are
singer.
black
Wow,
Irish.
Way to narrow it down there, Punk Waddle.
no, the one
Yeah.
that was in Game of Thrones, that one episode.
He's got a lot
Oh,
of songs.
yeah. The
He's Irish. I thought he was like
annoying ginger singer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't he? I'm pretty sure he's Irish.
I mean,
I
he has
thought
red
he
hair
was-
and freckles,
I mean,
so
Look, all we know is he has no soul. We just don't know what
I figured-
nationality.
I figure little Chad would know his name since he puts him in every freaking trivia that's not cool trivias like rock.
What?
I can't think of his name either.
Isn't it Sam something?
No?
No.
Sam Smith. No.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. Somebody will tell us later.
I mean, the only black Irishman I know, though, is the lead singer of Thin Lizzy.
That's cool. I'm black Irish.
You make it sound like a drink.
Oddly enough, Brahma, the guy who did the meme that you've seen of me, yeah, he's Black Irish. Go figure.
Yeah, that would explain why that was such a violent meme.
Ed
Mhm.
Sheeran It's Ed
Ed
Sheeran.
Sheeran.
Thank
That's
you.
who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody that nobody needed to know.
Well,
I'm
you
sorry.
know,
I mean, he's from Yorkshire, England.
I mean, that's
So he's
basically
English.
Ireland.
I'm pretty sure it's not.
I'm pretty sure both the Irish and the English would strongly disagree.
It's all
There
over
may
there.
have been some fights about that.
It's all Eastern Hemisphere to me.
he has strong Irish roots. in his
See?
hair.
Looking at him, you can hardly tell. All right, where we at?
All
So he's
right,
making circles.
So we have centers in circles
Oh.
throughout the United States. Members held military ranks such as captain, sergeant, private. They had to pay an initiation fee of $1, which, by the way, in like 1860 was actually a significant
Yeah.
amount of money.
By the way,
And then
That's how you know they're really, invested in the cause.
Yep.
that's
I-
like a month's worth of drinking money. So
I will say though that their ranks aren't as fun as the American clan, because they would have like Cyclops and like Warlock and Smeagol
Grand
or some
exalted
shit.
Grand
Cyclops.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, man, I want to be a grand wizard, and then your mom's like, no, you don't. But it sounds cool.
Was that ever a ranking you could get in Dungeons and Dragons, or did they smartly avoid that?
I don't remember. Like, what do you mean ranking?
No.
And see, this is how I know you've never played Dungeons and Dragons. What the fuck are you
Yeah,
talking
even
about?
I knew that.
Ranking.
No,
Well,
they didn't use Grande. They went straight from Vente to Mega.
Oh, don't you start associating MAGA with that clan.
Mega.
Mega.
Like MEGA.
It sounded
like
more
a
like
man.
MAGA. So
What's Gucci?
I was
my
making
mega?
fun of Starbucks sizes.
okay.
I got it.
All right. So
Don't make me explain jokes. It ruins jokes, Chad.
Even if they're not funny, they're ruined.
Damn straight.
in
Somebody will
addition-
laugh.
in addition to the $1 initiation fee, there was a 10-cent weekly due that they had to pay.
Weekly. Good lord.
Yeah, weekly. So
That's a lot for a whole bunch of
Sounds like a
indentured
pyramid
slaves.
scheme.
Do you think you know how much Irish whiskey you can get for that?
Yeah, right. At that time, it's not a pyramid scheme, but how else are they going to raise the money to buy the guns to send to Ireland?
Well, if
So
they're
even-
part of an Irish military unit, they probably get some sort of a like a whiskey per diem, right?
Oh, well,
Of course.
So I know that they had a during the Civil War, because I know Boston Corbett, who ended up shooting John Wilkes Booth, right?
You
They
know
talked
him?
about
Is he like one of your bros?
yeah, he's my bro. Ballless Corbett is what we called him because he cut out his testicles. That's the whole
That makes
different
us
thing.
bros with him by association.
That's right. Well, anyway, yeah, because they talked about how he would throw away his whiskey. What's it called?
Ration?
His whiskey ration.
whiskey
Everybody would
ration.
hate him. Like, why don't you just give it to us? He's like, no, the Lord said don't drink.
When
So,
did the Lord
We'll
say
cover
that?
Boston
I don't
Corbett
buy
one
it.
day.
Oh yeah, telling an Irishman the Lord told him not to drink is not going to be a way to win them over. We're just
If the
gonna
Lord
go
didn't
out
want us to drink, why did he make so many monks?
Mhm.
Yeah, they
All right.
invented it.
All right, guys, you're gonna want to listen to this part. I've been waiting all day for this.
All right. So, yeah. So as part, they were also forced to take an oath to labor for Ireland's liberation from England, obey superior officers, promote unity among Irishmen, and propagate the Fenian Brotherhood. And we actually
Propagate
it.
the Fenian Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Hold on,
we,
here it comes.
and we have the oath. So we're going to go ahead and say that now, right? So the oath goes
I'm
as
not gonna say that.
No, little Chad is.
and I'm gonna try my best to do it in an Irish accent so Matt can giggle
Yep.
uncontrollably as I don't. I feel like I'm gonna slip into Blood Diamond. We'll see. How
I
that
feel
goes.
like in his head he's going to be doing a full blown accent, and we're just going to hear little Chad talking.
No, what I'm gonna do my best to channel the Lucky Charms leprechaun and see how I go.
Authentic.
So it'll be I, little Chad, solemnly pledge my sacred word of honor as a truthful and honest man that I will labor with my earnest zeal for the liberation of Ireland from the yoke of England and for the establishment of a free and independent government on Irish soil, that I will implicitly obey the commands of my superior officers in the Brotherhood, that I will faithfully discharge the duties of my membership as laid down in the Constitution and by the law thereof, that I will do my utmost to promote feelings of love, harmony, and finally forbearance among all Irishmen, and that I will foster, defend, and propagate the aforementioned in brotherhood. This I swear by the sacred leprechaun and four-leaf clover.
It's so good. No,
That last sacred leprechaun, that's not part of it, is it? You made that up, right, Matt?
no, I didn't make that up. I just added clover at the end. Somebody wanted to go off script.
Clover.
Clover.
Because just saying clover wasn't enough. You have to go big, man.
Also, I mean, I feel
Where was the
like
propagation?
we should be nominating Chad for an Academy Award because that's the best acting he's ever done.
Yo, it was good. I think he should do the rest of the story in that accent.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
right.
No, he practiced this for 3 hours.
Like, oh my God, that's Daniel Day-Lewis. No, not maybe Daniel Day-Lewis doing his Lincoln accent. It's like
It
wherever
wasn't
you
high
go,
and
I will
reedy
find
enough.
you.
I
Sorry.
never saw the movie.
Wait a second, what?
I saw the trailer.
You've never seen Last of the Mohicans?
No, of course I've seen Last of the Mohicans. Are you kidding?
There's like 3 movies.
I will find you.
Oh, you're talking about Lincoln. Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
would be the one I would think of when you were talking about Daniel Day-Lewis playing Lincoln, would be Lincoln.
Well, I said wherever you go, I'll find you. So, and that's when I heard him say I haven't seen that movie.
Well, since I haven't seen that movie, I don't know.
Wait, hold on. You haven't seen Last of the Mohicans?
Last Mohicans?
No, I haven't seen Last of the Mohicans.
I will find you.
Hold on,
I saw that when I was like 6. Come on.
Brahma, what was that you said?
No, I have not.
There we go. We fixed that.
Wasn't me.
You realize I've also got the powers tonight.
Oh, damn it. I give too many people power.
The funny thing is, I never get the power, and I
They're the
never
only
use
ones
the
that have
power.
it.
I know but it's fun to do.
Yeah.
Now that we're done with
Hold
that
on. No,
asshole.
he's the one reading it. You're messing it up. Everybody's out of order.
Mad's gonna be like, I can't keep track of where I was in the script.
See, this is why you can't do an Irish-themed stream. Everybody's drunk, and nobody's doing what they're supposed to be fucking doing.
So it's the most Irish stream on YouTube.
Gotta love the
I-
Irish.
It's a freaking mess.
Where's my potato and haggis?
I mean, the Irish are the only group of people who can't go by AD and BC. With them, it's AW and BW.
Really?
Before whiskey and after whiskey.
Oh, man. That was a
good
walk
marker.
to get to that.
Hey, you know,
These truly are my people.
Does anybody else remember the Family Guy joke where they like cut to the ancient Irish civilization before they discovered alcohol, and it was like friggin' Atlantis
They were
with
the
flying
most
cars?
peoples in the world.
hey,
Whiskey.
it's slightly on topic, but you guys don't know what a Irish 7-course meal is?
Scallop potatoes, mashed potatoes, French fries. I don't know.
A
what.
single potato and then 6 shots.
Well, a 6-pack and a spud, but yeah.
Okay. I was on the right track.
Yep.
Speaking of tracks, Chad,
All right. So
stay
O'Mahony.
All
Stay on
right.
target. Stay on target.
O'Mahony, previously a colonel who founded the 99th New York State Militia, recruited thousands of young Irishmen by November 1859, forming 40 Fenian military units across states, including Corcoran's Irish Legion, the Phoenix Brigade of New York City, the O'Mahony Guards of San Francisco, and the Emmett Guards of Richmond, Boston, and Philadelphia. So Emmett had 3 groups, so I guess he was pretty big. In 1860, O'Mahony met Stevens in Ireland to finalize plans for an uprising, with the American Fenians pledging 5,000 men and 50,000 muskets.
I mean, wait, 5,000, 50,000 muskets.
Well, that would I would assume to help arm the Irishmen
yeah, the Irish,
in
yeah.
Ireland.
By the way, you know how long of a trip that had to be to go have a meeting with him about it's something that you're gonna have to come back for?
It was probably around 4 weeks
Yeah.
to get across one way and then 4 weeks back the other.
Ugh.
But it goes by pretty quick when you're drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't be wrong.
So, however, the U.S. Civil War broke out upon his return, diverting many Fenian fighters to battle each other across that.
Well, that seems to go against the oath.
Well, some Fenians viewed the Civil War as training for fighting England, with
That's
Brigadier General Thomas Francis Meagher proposed
What?
Say that again?
Meagher, Meagher.
Meager.
Might want to
Meager.
emphasize that M sound.
Yeah. Me.
Especially talking around the Civil War era.
Right? I mean, I love the idea. Like, that's the most positive way to look at the Civil War. No, you're looking at it all wrong. You're looking at it like practice. We're talking about practice.
We're talking about practice.
Not a game. Not a game.
Oh, the game would be back home.
So the
Sure, after the war, there's only going to be 2 of us, but we'll be trained.
So he proposed a brigade of 5,000 men, which was authorized by the Secretary of War and filled within 30 days.
Now, the U.S. Secretary of War or the Fenian Brotherhood Secretary of War?
That's a good question. That's
Yes,
the information I have is unclear, but I'm going to guess.
It's the U.S. Yeah, but just think about it. You're like, oh, these Irish guys want to fight on our side. That's one of the 2 things that they like. Yeah, let's send them.
It's like a certain country having a certain battalion that is made up of a certain type of person that's just operating under their military.
So, during the Battle of Melbourne Hill on July 1st, 1862, the Irish Brigade repeatedly charged a Confederate line, prompting a Confederate officer to note, "Here comes that damn green flag again."
There's just all these Irish guys like, okay, guys, we're going to go again. This time we're really going to do it.
The Civil War did boost Fenian recruitment within Union armies, with agents openly moving through camps with the commander's permissions, forming Fenian organizations, and Fenians from both North and South sometimes united. At Fredericksburg, we're not sure whether it's the first or second battle of Fredericksburg. A Confederate Irish soldier rescued a fallen Union green flag under fire, delivering him to the Union side before returning to the Confederacy.
Right. So I think I didn't add it in there, but when he brings the flag back to the Union side, right? They're
Yes.
like, hey, oh, you should stay here with us, don't go back. He's like, no. I'm still for slavery. I guess I thought you wanted your flag back. And as he runs back, they're still shooting at him on both sides.
You'll never get me Lucky Charms. Ha!
With Irish soldiers on both sides sharing news from Ireland across lines.
Hey, did you hear about Mickey?
Patty, did you hear about Mickey? That damn English got him.
Well, back to my side. I still hate the blacks.
Man, I feel
So,
I
are they
really
using
need to
the
watch
same
Far and
flag?
Away to get the Tom Cruise Irish accent down. That's what I should be doing.
Are they using the same flag for both
Yep.
sides? So, like the Confederate Fenians are
green-
using
yeah,
the green flag,
flag.
and the Union ones are using the same green flag, and they just meet in the middle.
Oh, I think you got my flag. Oh, we mixed it up.
Yours has the gray trim. That's how you can tell.
I plant this flag in the name of the Union. Well, that's our flag. You just planted it for us.
Chip Roy. Who's Chip Roy? Is that a
Chip
golfer?
Roy is the congressman from Texas.
Congressman from Texas.
The complete dickwad. Anyway,
Oh.
Has a shaved head and a goatee.
yeah.
Oh.
So that automatically makes him promised win.
Well, that's how twins work.
So the Fenian Brotherhood held its first U.S. Congress in 1863, uniting representatives from 68 circles and 15,000 men. half fighting in the Civil War, so they just left to go do their meeting.
It's we don't have that nowadays. We have a government within inside of another government, or like a country within side of another country.
That's true, because while at the meeting, they drafted a constitution and rules emphasizing a military structure and an intense and undying hatred towards Britain's monarchy and oligarchy, blaming it for the grinding Ireland into dust, executing their kin, starving their people, and scattering them abroad.
Wait, didn't they add something to the Constitution about the Polish?
The Declaration of Purpose pledged allegiance to the United States, clarified they were not a secret group because they were worried about Catholic Church condemnation, and declared the Irish a distinct nationality, but still expressed sympathy for the Polish.
I knew it. I thought they added something about the Polish, but no, seriously, the Polish. They're good folk. They're good folks over there.
We love the Poles.
They're good Catholics, so it's fine.
I know
Go
this
ahead.
is slightly delayed, but you're talking about how they were on both sides, and then occasionally they like stop to say hi to each other. It just reminds me of that scene from Braveheart, like when they charge each other and like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?"
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
cool.
Everybody stops and starts hugging.
Yeah, see, I told you it was my island.
Ireland.
I can picture it during the Civil War, though. They all shoot their muskets at each other. And then while they're doing the reload, they're just having small talk because it takes like 45 seconds to a minute
How's
to
your
reload
bow?
one of those muskets. So, hey, how you doing over there?
Oh, I'm doing just fine. Just you wait until I get this loaded.
Did you get hit in that last volley? Well, it's a flesh wound.
After this fight, do we get to kill English?
We'll see you at the pub tonight. Yeah, I mean, if I don't kill you.
Yeah. First round's on the loser.
It's like, I won't lie. If I kill you, I'm taking your flask first.
If you don't die, I'll buy you a shot.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll take the letter to you, mother. But first, I'm gonna have a drink.
They're
Gotta
probably
make sure you're dead
cousins.
first.
Yeah.
Did you ever read the Red Badge of Courage?
Yep.
I think in that book there is a part where some Union guys and some Confederate guys like were at the creek bathing as one would with your bros, and they were just like hanging out and shit.
Well, there's the story of what was it, World War I for was it Christmas, where everybody got out of the trenches and played a game of soccer,
Oh, that's nice.
and then they went right back to the killing the next morning.
Because it was Christmas, it wasn't Charlotte's volleyball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was cold,
It was for Matt.
and they didn't have a net
No.
or a volleyball.
I don't know. Is that still a joke, or have you moved on?
No,
From
Matt
volleyball?
still
Never.
loves men playing volleyball shirtless.
I have.
Matt has never given up a joke. They don't have an expiration date.
They
Okay,
wrote.
good.
I rotate them, fucker.
My
Hey,
God,
yeah,
things will
but
come
no-
back.
They come back. They always
If
come
I-
back.
Matt is convinced if he remains committed to the bit, it'll make it pay off even more when it finally hits.
I think that's why I have a odd sense of respect for Mads.
Matt's like a more giggly Andy Kaufman. He'll never give up.
Oh wait, am I supposed to be straight on the new channel? What did I say? What was the thing?
Yeah, this is the channel where you're playing Tony Clifton, where you actually like women and aren't gay.
I was about to say playing straight after last week's tickle episode.
Yeah, nobody's buying that anymore.
So at the convention, O'Mahony resigned as head senator to democratize the organization, placing it under the general convention. But shockingly, he was immediately reelected the head senator.
That's such a Putin move. Like, okay, all right, you guys don't believe that I should have this position? Fine, I'll step down. Hey, you're gonna vote for me?
You're right. As a man of the people, I believe the people should choose, so I shall resign. No, O'Mahony, you stay. All right, fine, I'll stay. As the will of the people have determined it.
But now you're also going to make me the chief of police on top of my other duties.
Yeah.
So by 1865, as the Civil War was ending, thousands of seasoned Fenian fighters returned, eager to act for Ireland.
Oh, now that we got all the stretching out of the way, we're ready for the real thing.
Now that we got to kill some Americans, let's go kill the English. So we can
I didn't
really
need that
enslave-
leg to fight the English.
We've got all these green flags. What are we going to do with them, boys?
Quick, while we've all got smallpox, let's get over to the island.
A Cincinnati convention in January 1865 included 300 circles with 600 delegates, reporting Ireland's support and readiness.
I'm pretty sure there was more Irish people in America than in Ireland.
I mean, historically speaking, the NRA was basically funded from America for its entire run, so it's not new that the Ireland's rebels have been funded and supplied by America.
Oh, of course, I know that. I watched Sons of Anarchy. What I was saying, and the Devil's Own. I was talking about
money, Tom. I need the money.
I was talking about like the population. Like it feels like there was more Irish people in America than in Ireland.
Are you saying it's like New York City and Puerto Rico, where there's more Puerto Ricans in New York City and New Jersey than live in Puerto Rico?
Yes,
but it is kind of weird how their society kind of is working, because I thought during the time that they were all coming over from the potato famine that, much like the Chinese, they were mostly indentured servants.
Well,
were they not?
I've watched Gangs of New York. I saw one that they did pretty well, becoming police officers. And
Gangs of New York was a bit later, wasn't it?
No,
no.
That actually was basically contemporaneous with this.
Yep. And we're going to be covering a little bit of that too when we talk about the history of firefighters and those assholes.
Somebody's
where the insurance companies would hire the actual firefighting companies, and then the firefighting companies would race to get there, start taking out all this stuff so it wouldn't get looted, and they would fight each other because they were all basically contracted by different parties.
The insurance companies is who would hire the people to go rob somebody's house before it got robbed.
Right, they would go get all the stuff out of it.
But we'll cover that later.
Okay,
that's a different story.
Oh, so different night, different story.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, all right. I wasn't sure if the Fenians got involved with it.
Oh, they did.
Oh, you're damn straight. Cool, Chad, get back to it.
All right. The Fenian movement gained attention in Ireland and England, raising British anxiety. Irish authorities tried to suppress the Brotherhood on both sides of the Atlantic, but American politicians courted the Fenians for the Irish vote. Tammany Hall coming back into the equation.
Tammany Hall played such a huge part of history.
Well, there's such a concentrated voting bloc. I mean, in what other historical context have we seen the idea of importing a large number of voters to make sure that your political party could outvote everybody else and deliver to those newly...
on a small scale, I would say Minnesota.
That's true.
Well, that was Pete. But Petey. I was making a joke about your dead friends.
My dead friends?
He's still stuck on Pete being dead people.
Yeah.
I really wanted. We need to go back, Matt. After this, you need to isolate the part with Punkwall and just saying, "I was making the joke about your dead friends."
Well, but no, I other than Tammany Hall, I haven't seen it work on a grand scale. I've seen it attempted.
Yeah, I've seen it attempted. There's no parallels between the story and anything that's going on in politics.
I would
not 2020 in any way.
I wouldn't point out how California went from reliably red to utterly blue based on that whole concept either at all. No.
Chad just can't keep the bullpen out of this show.
The Irish.
All right. So Irish Civil War veterans led military drills in Ireland, and the British military was infiltrated by Fenians. A reward was offered for Stephen's capture. He was caught but escaped, and transatlantic steamers were constantly searched for Irish American suspects.
Hey, could you imagine the cops going up like, where you heading there, fella? Nowhere. No, nowhere.
It's like you
Little,
sound
like,
awful Irish right there. No, not
me?
at all.
No, not at
No,
all.
not me. I'm Scottish. I am.
Yeah. Say Clover.
No, it's like you sound awful Irish. No, I'm a Spaniard named Ramirez.
Ramirez.
The test is to have them say Clover. The clue.
Say
like-
Blarney.
It's like, here, I'm gonna put a beer in front of you, and you have to not drink it for 3 minutes.
Oh, I think.
In September 1865, British authorities seized the revolutionary paper The Irish People, and in doing so uncovered organizational details leading to the arrests and mutiny charges against many British soldiers.
For what?
This was as we learned 3 sentences earlier, they were being infiltrated by
Oh, that little thing.
They were spies.
How did that? Imagine this be like, oh, I hate the British, want to kill the British. Like,
Hey, where are you working? Buckingham Palace. I am part of the guard that gets changed. So
Every time an Englishman dies, I do a river dance.
it's a sign of respect.
Not a sign of me stomping on your grave.
I mean,
Trying to turn you into Pete a little bit quicker.
This entire episode is going to be the precursor to the Bros on Film for Patriot Games.
Oh, that's a good movie.
Where Sean Bean once again dies. So,
oh yeah.
All right. An emergency Fenian Congress was convened in Philadelphia in October. Frustrated by Stevens' cancellation of action,
they had their own Congress.
Yes, they've been having Congresses since the Civil War.
I mean, they had their own constitution.
Yeah.
I guess I just realized they had their own Congress.
But in their constitution, they swore allegiance to America.
Correct.
And they also
Just
gave a
below
shout out
Ireland.
they gave a shout out to the Polish. Yeah.
Like, hey, Kowalski, you're my boy.
The order shall go Ireland, Poland, and then America.
It's an order of rank choice for how loyal you are to the Pope. All right. Frustrated by Stevens' cancellation of action in Ireland, anger shifted to O'Mahony, Stevens' ally, with William Roberts advocating for immediate action. O'Mahony opposed this, causing a factional split. A third Congress formed with a distinct Fenian republic within the U.S. based in New York City in a mansion on Broadway Union Square, flying a harp and sunburst flag with a president, Treasury, military, naval, and civil affairs secretaries, and the Senate. So they went full schism and started their own sub country.
Same thing happened with the LDS, you know.
So O'Mahony refused to resign as head senator, but Roberts was elected president and was given greater authority, voting O'Mahony. In December, an emergency session impeached O'Mahony, splitting the Fenians into the O'Mahony wing and the Roberts wing. With the O'Mahony wing favored, while the O'Mahony wing favored continued planning for an Irish revolution, the Roberts wing decided to plan to invade Canada.
Like where their heads at.
Well, you know, it's
like the rhinos and MAGA. MAGA's like, we're taking Canada.
Again, there's no parallels to anything that's happening today. It was why I picked this story. It just so happens.
Says you.
So in February 1866, Roberts' fourth convention in Pittsburgh declared an invasion to seize Canadian land, raise the Irish flag, and gain recognition, rallying Irish support globally.
So I think basically they're trying to take over Canada, and they'd be like, we'll trade you Ireland for Canada.
That's a really nice Montreal you have there. Shame what happened to it.
Hey, Frenchies, will you kick the Englishmen out of our country?
First order.
We'll give you back all these French-speaking provinces over here.
Okay, Canada. First order of business. No more French. It's all Gaelic. Everything has to be written in Gaelic.
It's like, all right, Canada, your first proposition is to make maple syrup into some kind of whiskey.
Which they've done that now.
They
So,
have Crown Royal Maple.
it's like, that's only
It's a real
150
thing.
years late, you bastards.
Hey, Mr. Jameson, is there anything you can do with this maple syrup?
So,
Well, we could proof it up.
like suddenly my pancakes in the morning taste much better.
Now
Both
I've got
factions-
diabetes and a hangover.
I've got just the thing for my Lucky Charms now. It's
the
part of
fucking
a balanced breakfast.
Oh, the doctor took my foot and says I need a new liver. I don't know why.
Here you go, soul assessing. Whiskey syrup is a thing. Why am I just learning about this?
No, syrup flavored whiskey is a thing. It's a different thing.
Yeah.
It's tomato.
All right, so
The
they're
viscosity of whiskey, not of syrup.
I mean, I'm
both
sure they have some-
both factions ended up leaking plans to the press, alerting Canada, the U.S., and Britain.
Wait,
O'Mahony,
so they leaked it like to get them scared or like
I guess so, because O'Mahony was seeking to regain control and therefore called a military congress to plan his own Canadian invasion, shifting from opposition to rivalries.
wait one. I love this description. Is MST 3000 meets the History Channel. That's perfect. Two. Did you say that they're like, no, I'm invading Canada?
So
Wouldn't
yeah,
they have a better
O'Mahony,
chance if they both went together?
so O'Mahony had decided he needed to shift, right? So his initial position was like, dudes, we need to keep planning to actually liberate Ireland. And then after this got some traction, he was like, fuck it. I've got a way better plan to invade Canada than you.
You guys remember when we were training in the Civil War? Well, let's go up to Canada and do it again, but just amongst us.
Could you imagine just being in Canada and be like, oh, what's all this about? Like just like two fucking groups of Irish fighting on your land over who gets to take your land.
So
Whoever wins out of us gets to fight you next.
So in the post-Civil War America, the Union had actually, Union public had come to resent Britain's Confederate support, with many Americans assuming that Canada would eventually be annexed by the United States. So they were very ambivalent actually to the leaks here. So
a couple hundred years off, but yeah.
Yeah.
So the Americans are like, fuck it. If the Irish take it over, they take it over. Whatever.
Well, they are loyal
could
to
go
America.
wrong?
It'll be the 51st state.
Yeah.
So unemployed Irish ex-soldiers were ripe for Fenian recruitment, purchasing war surplus arms with U.S. government silence, fostering a belief there was actual tacit U.S. support for the invasion plans.
What they didn't mention was that after we got done with Canada, we were going to go get Greenland and give it to the Poles.
The Poles deserve something.
The Poles deserve something out of this.
So the Fenians even composed a battle song called "We've Got Nothing Else to Do."
No. Wait, no, that's not real.
No, this is where the song 99 Bottles of Beer on the Wall came from.
Do you have the lyrics to we got nothing else to do?
And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like I have those.
We could probably just plug that song
Yes.
into Sonos and have it spit something out for us.
So O'Mahony's rush plan targeted Campobello Island near Maine, and was led by Bernard Killian. On April 17th, 1866, 700 Fenians arrived on the Maine shore opposite the island, but British Royal Navy warships intercepted them, possibly
Those
because
fuckers.
they leaked their plans. And the U.S. seized their munition ship, Ocean Spray, on April 19th.
Wait, whose ship was that was seized by the U.S.?
That would be O'Mahony's ship.
The old Mahoney's. The ones with the cool name.
So
But
the
I thought we had an
Roberts-
agreement.
Yeah. So the Roberts wing dubbed this the Eastport Fizzle, the sole achievement being that they stole a Canadian flag from a nearby house.
It's just the first strike in a long war.
They
I
say
got
One
your
claim.
flag. like one step out from like Goodwill Hunting. You see your flag? I got your flag now.
How do you like them apples?
How do you like them potatoes?
I've got the perfect. Oh, go ahead, Punk.
I was gonna say, was this where Ocean Spray Juices came from?
Yeah.
They got a fizzle.
Oh, I bet they took the flag back. I think they took that Canadian flag. Like, see, no, we'll just change the leaf into a clover and just put some green shit on the side.
I don't know why. I don't know why, but the perfect tune for that battle song just came to mind. If you do a Sonos of it, write some lyrics for it, and then ask it to do it in the style of "Because I Got High."
Oh, yeah.
Well, I had nothing else to do.
Beginning to wonder if O'Mahony's right-hand man was Hightower. Someone better get that fucking joke.
I mean, Police Academy was
I
a
was
funny
just gonna
movie,
let it
but
linger for fun.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. 55 minutes in, that's your first attempt, and
We're not off to a great start.
What Matt is saying is you don't have that Kobe Black Mamba venom to just drain the jumper.
that's right.
By the way, Matt, did you see that Trump's going to put Kobe in the Garden of Heroes?
Is he? Wait, no, he's not. Is he really?
Yeah. Yes, he put Kobe Bryant because for Black History Month he listed the great Black Americans he was going to put in the Garden of Heroes, and Kobe Bryant was in.
But
it.
he was a horrible helicopter pilot.
He wasn't piloting; he
No,
was a passenger.
I know. Well, he was horrible at that, apparently.
Well, maybe
I loved this year that the only time I heard the words Black History Month mentioned were when they were firing Joy Reid and what's her face over at MSNBC. They're
Actually,
like, how could they do it during Black History Month? That was the only time I heard those
Up
words
until this
all
moment.
month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're past the month now.
Oh, damn.
We're in a new month. Now we're in like National Women's Month or whatever.
Skip.
Why did they? Why did they give him the shortest month of the year?
I think you know.
What? Yeah.
Because in America they used to have clans as well.
Oh yeah.
Maybe if they would have started their own government, like we did,
With their own constitution.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did they ever think about that?
There's a
Did
lot
they
of
ever try
pale,
to invade? Go ahead.
a little bit of red too, huh?
So. Following the Eastport fizzle, Stevens arrived from Ireland on May 11th, 1866, and accepted O'Mahony's resignation. He urged Roberts to delay fighting for Irish independence. Roberts promised not to invade Canada, but 3 weeks later launched an invasion on June 1st.
Just the way you said it, you're like, he promised not to. I'm like, he's about to invade Canada.
What was the name of the thing again? The Eastport
fizzle.
The Eastport fizzle. So they're like, hey boys, you remember when the Americans had that tea party? They they dumped the tea in. Well, we're gonna name our thing too. It's gonna be the Eastport fizzle.
Fizzle, yeah.
It'll go down in history, same as that tea party.
Yep.
Maybe
oddly enough, it started in Boston as well.
Yeah.
But we had Ocean Spray.
So he's launched his own invasion on June 1st, led by U.S. Major General Thomas Sweeney, who took a leave to command the invasion. So he was
going to start our own government, but we got drunk
in the Union Army, and he took leave to do this. Sweeney planned dual eastern and western attacks to bisect Canada, starting with Colonel John O'Neill's 1,000 soldiers crossing near Buffalo to Fort Erie as a diversion.
Do they have enough men to pull this out on two fronts?
They have a lot of Irishmen drunk and ready to go from the Civil War, apparently.
These are genius tactics. They've had their practice, Mad.
Yeah. On
what
May
time
20,
of the year was it? Because Buffalo's cold.
June 1st.
June 1st.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not that bad. Imp, you live in Buffalo.
No. He lives in New York State, not Buffalo. It's a
I
big
thought
state.
Buffalo was in New York.
It's a big state. Right?
Yeah,
That's also
that's
the
what I'm saying.
other end of the state for me. And yes, they do get incredibly.
That's like someone living
part of
in
why I live there.
what would be my reference for Texas here?
Interesting.
What's
Someone
that
living in Longview versus living in El Paso?
Yeah.
Because I know Mad knows where Longview is.
Well, yeah,
Is Houston several hours away from El Paso.
What,
Houston
about 3
several
hours?
hours away
Yeah.
from everything.
Yeah, that's something like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so on May 22nd, O'Neill mobilized from Cleveland by train, joined by Colonel Owen Starr's regiment in Louisville, Kentucky. The Great Lakes attack was aborted, redirecting them to Buffalo. James Haggerty added another 100 troops, and the soldiers wore work clothes to conceal their Fenian identity, drinking whiskey en route. Of course. As they do.
Yeah,
We're going incognito, boys. We're gonna drink American whiskey. They'll never guess.
One guy in charge had to be like, guys, we probably shouldn't drink. We're gonna be fighting when we get there, but nobody will believe us, though. Don't know this.
This is our one superpower. We drink so much we feel nothing in battle. You can't give that up.
Well, it's like, don't you drink? Don't drink. How dare you go after my Irish identity, you rat bastard.
I don't drink. I can't fight. Never fought.
Like, you might as well take the green flag from me if you take my drink.
They don't drink, and then the enemy happens upon them, and they're just like, "What's the point, even? Just kill us. There's nothing left to fight for."
Yeah, there's nothing else to lose.
You can take my flag, but you can never take my booze.
You can take my life. You can take my freedom, but you'll never take my drink.
So, arriving from Cleveland on May 28th, no boats awaited from Fenian General William Francis Lynch. So they hid in waterfront warehouses. And on May 29th, they reached Buffalo, splitting into Irish-American homes to hide. And on midnight, June 1st, Starr secured Bertie Township across the Niagara River, aiming for the Welland Canal. By May 31st, Fenian forces massed near Malone and St. Albans with a Niagara River crossing planned. British and Canadian militia were alerted, and barges and
who told them we were coming? Oh, it was us. Oh, that makes sense. Drink too much.
The Irish are coming. The Irish are coming.
Wait,
when are they coming? It's like two if by whiskey and one if beer.
Dude, imagine the painting of this, like crossing the Delaware, except this drunk Irish guys on the boat.
All I'm picturing right now is that John Candy movie, Canadian Bacon.
Yeah, that's
when they're trying to attack Canada.
But yeah, I could go.
So British and Canadian militia were alerted, with barges and steam tugs crossed from Black Rock, New York on June 1st, with rifles awaiting on the Canadian shore. O'Neill, a seasoned Civil War veteran, led experienced fighters against Canada's inexperienced militia, led by a 42-year-old businessman named Booker, commanding an 850-man brigade despite limited experience. O'Neill disrupted two converging Canadian forces, destroying 1,000 muskets intended for Irish Canadians expected to join, though none did. What?
So they went thinking like, no, boys, once we get there, the Canadian Irish guys, they will join us. They'll be like, oh, it's my brothers. And then no one showed up. These drunk bastards.
These assholes made their own constitution pledging to Canada.
Oh, they're trying to invade the U.S. Like passing ships in the night.
All right, so British intelligence tracked the Fenian moves via their Washington embassy. Canadian forces, unfed for nearly 2 days and limited to only 28 rounds per man, faced O'Neill's line. Two Fenian officers on horseback approached, and a Canadian shouted, "Cavalry," prompting a defensive square formation, exposing them to attack.
So they saw two horses. They freaked out. They're like, "Oh my god, they have a cavalry."
So O'Neill,
they're gonna write us all down.
So O'Neill ordered a bayonet charge and scattered the Canadians who fled. The Fenians
Fucking
halted
Canadians.
pursuit to gather battlefield mementos and secure all right. So O'Neill,
that just reminded me of whenever I play a game, I always look under every log Every rock, I'm like, hold on, you guys
Hold on,
something here.
It's like, hold on, I just secured a win in the battlefield. What are you doing there, Matt? I'm going into Slender's chest and I'm taking all his rich materials.
Mad, the boss fight started.
No.
Yeah, but there's gray items on the ground. I'll be there in a minute.
I can sell them.
Hey, where'd all that star metal that Slender worked really hard to get go? I have no idea. But Matt's like, look at my cool new shit.
That's why in games I always have to do my backpack and item storage first so I can loot the crap out of everything.
Oh, Matt's
Even your
done that.
teammates?
He still loots everything,
What?
and then it'll be like, all right, 5 minutes while I go back to town. We've only been fighting for 3 minutes. Yeah, but it'll take me 5 minutes to sell off this stuff. I'll be back.
My inventory's full.
Nice.
My inventory's full. Where will I pull out all the shit that you guys are getting for me?
All these legendaries, you have to go somewhere.
It's
All
true.
right. So, O'Neill requested reinforcements and recrossed the Niagara River, but the U.S. steamship Michigan intercepted and arrested them.
For what?
I don't know, invading Canada.
That would be breaking Canadian law.
When was invading Canada against the rules?
He was just 150 years early is what happened. All right.
The president immediately turned over a WNBA player to free them.
So, escorting them
I
back
hope
to the
not.
U.S., additional Fenian forces gathered at Malone, Potsdam, and Vermont. A Canadian militia under Captain Carr warned of 1,500 Fenians from Vermont and sent a scout who infiltrated their camp, counting 700 men. Carr retreated 15 miles north on June 7th.
Wait, hold on. They sent a scout who just went into their camp, walked around, and was just counting?
Well, I mean, if he showed up with something green and a flask, they're going to
True.
let him in.
You sound awfully Canadian.
Yeah.
Yes, but I've got some whiskey.
I'm
Well,
one
now
of
you sound awful Irish. Come sit down.
I'm one of those Canadian Irish, eh?
I'm one of the ones who's going to join you when you get across the border.
He's like, look, I know you're a spy. Shut up and give me the whiskey.
I don't need your backstory. I need your drink.
You're making this worse by talking. Just send me more. All right. So Carr retreated 15 miles north, and on June 7th, Brigadier General Samuel Spears' Fenians invaded Quebec, seizing 4 villages, looting homes, stealing livestock, and terrorizing residents.
Fuck yeah. Get it.
President Andrew. Wait a second.
They just walk into the villages. Where's the party at?
President Andrew Jack. Did you fact check? Did
Oh, no,
you
that
mean
may be
Andrew
wrong.
Johnson?
Yeah, that's who it is. Sorry,
Fact-checking
Johnson.
things
Yeah, President Andrew Johnson, not Jackson,
Not Jackson.
declared the raids a neutrality violation on June 5th, ordering U.S. forces to intervene, impounding Spears' Vermont supplies. Spears' speech conceded defeat, and he was arrested upon re-entering the U.S. Fenians crossing the borders were detained. The U.S., wanting to avoid war with Britain and Irish-American backlash, released the Fenians with train tickets home.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
The New York Times described Spears' raid as an attack on a deserted dunghill, with total casualties being 31 dead and 103 wounded. O'Neill did return to a hero's welcome, and fundraising persisted. The Fenians shifted to Eastern Canadian invasions, but U.S. arrests hampered efforts, so they continued to keep going.
God, they're like, why did they keep arresting us? Just let us do it.
Aye, but that dunghill now has 32 more bodies to make peat.
Look at all the
If
Canadian
you go back in
flags
2
we got.
years, it'll make good whiskey.
So Canada celebrated its militia's defeat of the Fenians, rearming with U.S.-made weapons. Sounds familiar.
How did they get those weapons? Well, you see, I was low on the whiskey, so I was like, hey, we don't need all these guns.
The British North America Act of 1867 established the Dominion of Canada, withdrawing British forces, prompting a 40,000-man Canadian militia. So I guess that's when they decided to have a standing group to be able to fend off these drunken Irish.
See, they don't even think it's the only reason they have a standing army is because of us.
Well, you guys said they were trading whiskey for muskets, right?
I said that jokingly. I don't think that's really how they got those weapons.
Well, I don't think that's how the barrel trade works either. But
all right. So in 1868, fresh off his victories in Canada, O'Neill became the Fenians' Senate president, planning another Canadian raid despite Senate resistance. In spring 1870, he called a poorly attended New York City convention, forming a third faction with 15,000 weapons, 3 million rounds, and 1 artillery piece in Vermont.
3 million rounds?
This is still just baffling me. I would like to run to be president of the Madbarians.
I vote no confidence.
I vote no confidence on you.
I support my brother.
I'm not running.
That's 2 to 1. So he wins.
Oh man, ain't nobody getting more than 2 votes.
Yeah, no. Slender can be the head of the Senate, but I'm president.
There you go, Matt. So that's 3 for Slender.
I'll take it.
That's not 3 for Slender. Mad said Mad was president, and Slender could be the head of the Senate.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that too. I'm still the head of the Senate.
He said he was running for the head of the Senate.
Rama, you're fired.
No, he said he was running for president.
It's too late. It's already been decided. You're fired.
Saying
and Mad would vote for me. He's seen me get penetrated.
Slender uses the biggest, best words.
Penetrating.
All right, so on May 25th, 1870, 400 Fenians invaded Quebec under O'Neill, meeting immediate resistance this time from a prepared Canadian force of thousands. By 1 p.m., a U.S. Marshal arrested O'Neill on the U.S. side, but fighting continued until 5:45 p.m. A Canadian cavalry charge drove the Fenians back, leaving equipment. No Canadians died. 2 days later, Owen Starr's raid near Holbrook Corners, Quebec, lasted 10 minutes before retreat. The Sydney Mail noted that the Fenians denied defeat, and Tammany Hall provided returning soldiers train tickets home.
Yeah, we didn't get defeated. We just ran out of whiskey. We had to go back home and restock.
We strategically redeployed.
Yeah. The light was better over on this side.
All they have is blended whiskeys. We like single barrel.
So O'Neill resigned from the Senate, joining John Savage's Savage Wing.
Because he fucked up. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, the original Senate's September 1870 Cincinnati Convention birthed the United Irishmen, quote unquote. Later handed to Irish exiles, dissolving due to inaction. O'Neill, seeking redemption, planned a Manitoba raid to capture Fort Garry. He won't let Canada go.
You know what? This reminds me of when we were talking about them in the Civil War, and they kept going again and again and again. And the guy was like, "Here comes that damn green flag again." They will not give up.
Yeah. So, but this plan was rejected by the Fenian Council unless secret. So this time, don't leak your plans.
Yeah.
Shocking military concept there.
I think I figured it out, guys. See, this time we just won't tell anyone.
So a British spy on the council supplied O'Neill 400 weapons, then alerted Canadian police. The British spy was later hired by the FBI and sent to Michigan to deal with the governor.
Oh, they Fast and Furious me.
That was a joke for Brahma to get that one.
You gotta love when a spy is like, all right, well, I'm definitely gonna end up turning them over to the police, but first I should probably completely fully arm them from the military.
You're busted. What you
makes good sense.
You sold me the muskets. It doesn't matter.
On October 5th, 1871, O'Neill's 40-man force attacked a Hudson Bay Company outpost, unaware a 1870 border shift placed it 1 mile inside the U.S. So they were actually now attacking a U.S. Piece of property. U.S. Captain Lloyd Wheaton arrested O'Neill and 10 others after they fled. 50 British soldiers then occupied the outpost. So apparently that was maybe in dispute about who owned it.
Well, I think what happened was that the Irish lost United States territory with their fucking.
So the U.S.
Think about it,
Secretary,
they failed so horribly at their invasion that they ended up costing a different country that they are not representing a territory.
yeah, in fact, the U.S. Secretary of State declined to demand British withdrawal, citing an unsettled border. O'Neill's raid inadvertently ceded U.S. land to Canada. Captured
See, this is an injustice that hasn't been undone. So Trump is right. It's time to take him as the 51st state.
All we need is a new old Mahoney.
So captured soldiers were released as misled, and O'Neill and the 3 leaders faced a Dakota Territory commissioner. But freed on technicalities due to trial costs, Attorney General Williams sought prosecution, rearresting O'Neill in Minnesota, but the Minnesota Attorney General cited insufficient evidence and released him.
True. There's no videotape or whatever. Do we have the equivalent?
There was no one saying that they can't breathe, so he had to get let go. So this ended Fenian raids into Canada. Finally.
How many times was he arrested for trying to invade Canada?
This was at least the 4th time, it looks like.
God dang! And all they did was lose the U.S. land.
I mean, maybe they should just think about taking away their passports.
At some point they're like, guys, I think we were on to something when we were thinking about going to Ireland to fight the British. This seems a little bit of a roundabout way.
So O'Neill did promote Irish immigration to Nebraska. Dying in January 7th, 1878, he was buried in Omaha and had a Nebraska city named after him.
Really?
So post 1867, the IRB backed neither Fenian faction, supporting the Clan na Gael in America, which allied with Britain's foes, including Germany in World War I.
We all make mistakes.
The 1920 Irish Civil War split Clan na Gael. One faction dissolved in 1926, and the other tied into the reorganization of the IRA. Clan na Gael persists, altered from its origins, splitting again in 1997 over the IRA's shift from violence.
Wait, so they're like, oh, the IRA is not violent enough for us anymore?
Yeah, I mean, this probably may relate to Sinn Féin and some of the other groups too.
Yeah.
But that was, again, this leads right into Patriot games.
It really does, man. That's, if only they could stay, if they could have stayed united at any point, rather than
they could have stayed, like smart. Like, how do we run a major military operation? First, we leak the plans to the press so that everybody knows what we're doing.
It makes sense, because that way we get more people, more support, more people joining. How do they know to join if we don't let them know we're going to invade?
You see, it's a surprise attack. How is it surprising? They would be super surprised that we do what we leaked to the press.
See, they think we're going to go this way, but then we're going to go this way, and then that.
The surprise is, like every other time, we're going to get drunk, we're going to pass out, and we're going to show up 4 days too late.
Yep. Too much whiskey, too little strategy. I think that's kind of what it
is. That why he waited 3 weeks after promising he wouldn't invade, because they had to sober up enough?
I think he wanted to make sure that he was, because Stevens was going back to Ireland, so he's like, okay, it's been 3 weeks. He's not turning around now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's gone.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. Thoughts, Slender?
This is fucking ridiculous. It's very Irish, but it's ridiculous.
Did you not know the secret history of us invading Canada like 17 times?
Who's this us?
Well, my people came from Ireland.
Yeah, mine too. That's why I feel fine doing all the jokes tonight.
Technically, they're all American.
Irish.
So
they had negative gain because they lost land.
Your military whiz rating is 0.
That's the best part.
Yeah. America's like, screw it. Yeah.
They did kind of treat him like this little brother. Like, all right, calm down. We got him. Canada, don't worry. We got him. We're taking him back now. Sorry for the bother. But one thing I found out was that in Canada, even not that long ago, like parents would tell their kids, like, you better go to sleep or the Fenians will get you. Like they were Canada's boogeyman.
They were the boogeyman.
Yeah.
The drunk Irishman will come.
You got to think the Irish are thinking to themselves in America, no wonder we lost our island to the British over and over and over. We lost portions of America.
Oh. Any other thoughts, Brahma?
I think we should pick an accent and everybody do it on every episode, whether it applies or not. Or just continue with Irish on every episode.
I'm glad you said something because next week we'll be in Australia for the episode.
Okay, I'm doing Irish because I can't do an Australian accent.
I'm Australian.
Good news for you because the Fenians may be involved.
Well, yeah, we were supposed to be doing 2 things for St. Patrick's Day. I don't know how we get to Australia, but now I'm intrigued.
See. I'm pretty sure it's a penal colony for England, so there's probably a lot of Irish.
Wait, you said the Fenians may be involved? I think I actually know that story.
So does this?
Oh, that's actually a good idea.
Next week, the Fenian Brotherhood, the Down Under chapter.
Where they all speak Crockney.
Everyone stay tuned for the Fenians tickle segment.
There's a couple more Fenian stories that out there. We may do the whole month, even after St. Patty's Day. Because
everybody come back next week.
Blimey.
Come back next week. Grab a whiskey, sit down, and we'll tell you how the dingo ate her baby.
That was a very sad story. It really happened. Not cool.
Allegedly.
Did it really happen though?
Yeah, it really did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
No, allegedly that she. Never mind. It's fine.
That dingo was never charged.
The dingo was never found. There was no.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Oh, did y'all see the trailer for what was it that I was telling you about? The one that was like Ash versus Evil Dead. What was it called?
That one.
I'll check the DMs. I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm looking it up now.
It obviously made
the things that you sent
The Bondsman.
Yeah, The Bondsman with Kevin Bacon. That looks good.
I don't know. I still think Mobland from Guy Ritchie.
That one looks good too.
Has more
yeah,
promise.
I'm looking forward to that.
By the way, real quick, Napoleon Blown Apart. I see you sampling us.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
The
Son of a
YouTuber who is doing the story on the Count. What's his name?
Count Dante. Yeah,
Count
by the way,
Dante.
I love his channel. He has a really great channel, but everybody be taken from us, man.
Yeah, you better understand one thing, Napoleon Blown Apart. We will invade you and then cede territory that is not ours to you when we fail our invasion because we're too drunk.
You know what? That fucker's Irish too. Napoleon Blown Apart? Yeah, I can remember that.
Never mind, then I like our odds.
It's just practice.
It's just practice.
I'm gonna have to watch, a season of Peaky Blinders and drink some Bushmills.
That'll do.
Wait, wasn't that in England? Oh, dude, I tried to watch that 1,000 Blows show because it's from the same guy that did Peaky Blinders.
Sounds like a porn. Are you watching gay stuff?
So
again,
it was
Matt?
supposed to be about boxing, but it ends up being about a whole woman thief group gang or whatever, like an
And they
entirely
blew 1,000
female.
people?
No, the 1,000 Blows, I guess, was about the boxing part of it, but I'm like, man, they tricked me. They got me in here thinking it was like 2 bros shirtless in the ring, grappling and shit, and then it's like all women, like, they got me. Anyway, well, I guess that's about it. A little shorter this week, but that was a fun one, though. I think
We packed more laughs into a shorter period of time.
I do believe so. Anybody got anything that they need to promote?
I need my money, Tom.
Oh, Friday. Are you going to be back for your show on your channel?
I'm on Tuesday. I'm going to be back for our show on Friday.
I don't know how your vacation is working.
What?
His vacation ended on the weekend.
Yeah.
He took like a Friday off and a week.
I'm sorry. He's been gone for 3 weeks at least.
No, no, it was.
I don't
it was
recall him
2
being back
Fridays.
this weekend when we had a show on Sunday morning.
Yeah,
I
and I
was
don't
driving
recall
back
him
from
being there the
Florida.
Sunday before.
I was driving back from Florida. I was in the chat though.
Yes, you were. You could have just done what I do and tell everybody in the car, sorry, I've got to go to the bathroom, and then come join the show on your phone from the bathroom like I do when you're doing music trivia while
Deacon's
I'm in
car
Vegas.
has a bathroom. We're not rich
Yeah,
like you, bro.
This isn't some like mega RV where my grandparent.
No, I'm
money
talking about
bags-
pull over at the rest area. You spend a lot of time at the rest areas
what-
anyway.
are you kidding me? What if
How
somebody
long-
taps his foot?
How long do you spend in the bathrooms at rest areas for your family to think it's okay that you're in there for an entire hour and a half show?
But
Exactly.
real quick,
They'll get the wrong idea about what you're doing in there, but then you can set them straight and be like, no, I was on a show.
No, damn it. I just have a wide stance and a friendly manner.
So Elagabalus wants to know a good starter whiskey. I would go with a Redbreast. Solid quality whiskey.
Bullet bourbon.
As far as bourbon goes, affordable
this is whiskey.
and good, I would start with the thing that I start people on is Angel's Envy. It's about $45 a bottle. It's about as smooth as you get. It's lower proof. I think it's 80 or 90 proof. As far as a cheap, good bottle, that's not going to be like a standard Jack Daniels is Early Times Bottled in Bond. It's 100 proof, so a little bit stronger, but it sells for about $26. So not too bad.
Pretty okay.
I still like Bullet.
That's awesome, Davinia. She's clarifying between 1,000 blows and 400 blows, which may get mixed up.
And Punkwaddle worked at a liquor store, so he can give you his ideas on a good starter whiskey bourbon too.
Yeah. There's an Irish one that's gotten, I don't know how common it is to sort of see a little bit more, called Grey Coast.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's finished in a kind of a American oak. Pretty good. And then trying to think of the other one.
Taconic.
Bottle drinks dead humans.
Yeah, they're tasty. So Kern is
Back
also
to the joke I was making about your dead friends.
He's also flightless.
well, yeah, because I go for the whole pint. I don't do this like miniature thing, like 4 tiny beers. Screw that.
Yeah,
like I said,
that's a
Kern
reference to a flight of shots or a flight of bourbon.
It's very true. Let's see. Like I said, Kern's and Grey Coast, I think, are around 20-ish, 25-ish. Let's see. Four Roses is a decent American bourbon.
I can't believe.
Yeah, Four
Brian
Roses
saw
is a
the
good
credit.
starter.
Yeah. They're single.
Just don't ever go with like don't do Benchmark, don't do
No,
the basic Jack Daniels, don't do
No,
basic Jim
gross.
Beam.
no, just
They're
I would
all
go
trash.
Redbreast is good. Punkwaddle will back me up on that one.
It's a little more
Taconic.
expensive for Irish. It's getting in the 60s.
Yeah. They're a little bit more expensive, but it's worth it.
Yeah, it is good. Writer's Tears is a good Irish as well, since we're talking Irish.
What's the difference between single and double?
You'll have to take that one, Punk, because I don't drink malted.
I'm not sure about double malt.
I would imagine it's doubled.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would. That's
2
what I would say.
malts. I got 2 malts. I realize that's not helpful, but
All right. Well, you almost got us to an hour and a half. We'll stop there though, because the intro should put us there.
oh, another thing is, was it All Granddad 114? Pretty dang smooth
Yeah.
for that hot, and it's usually
Yep.
not that expensive either.
Right. So next
And
time you'll see most
mostly
of us
findable.
will be either with Shags tomorrow night, goddamn like 10 p.m. my time, or Friday for Ascendant Art.
Hey, we might play games on Thursday
Oh, and we might games on Thursday.
on the arcade.
Anyway, so if we don't see you back here, we'll see you way up there. Say goodbye to my wife. I say hello to yours. You're not being beamed up.
You're being beamed down.
Down. I got
No,
it.
punk. No, that didn't count. If you're not grabbing noses, you're grabbing butt hoses. Bye, guys.
Avery Delicious.
A Machiavelli production.
Listen now, Mr. Kansas Law Dog. Law don't go around here. Savvy? Yeah. Yeah, that's real good, Law Dog, because law just don't go around here.
They keep on calling me, want me to put it down. Oh, baby, run to me, don't go from smile to frown. Hey, law dog, law don't go around here. And I say, hey, law doggy, law don't go around here. You're no daisy at all. And I say, hey, law doggy, law don't go around here. You're no daisy at all.
I want you to know it's over.